Yo, what's good, kings and queens? This your boy Don, and I'm back for another reaction video today. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit all so you know every time I post, you heard. If you're not new to the channel, please go down below, hit that like button, put your social medias. Y'all already know when y'all get pinned, y'all win, you heard. Thank y'all for popping out to the video, man. Today we're going to be reacting to the grossest things actors had to do for a role. Imagine being an actor and having to make out with an animal, eat animal poop, anything, lick a pole, something you just don't want to do. You heard? Imagine having to do that. Well, sacrifice you take to be an actor, right? You gotta do what you gotta do to play that role. You heard? So let's get into it. Let me know if some roles y'all saw y'all was like, nah, I would never do that. You heard? It probably is a lot out there. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. But y'all let me know down in the comments. Other than that, let's get into the video. Let's see who's on this list. Who made it, you heard?
Especially the ones that made them sick. Something that I don't really get to do. How far would you go for a role? Some of these actors ate gross things, some totally ignored hygiene for way too long, and some were left stuck in some very unfortunate smelling rooms. It's pretty hard to determine which one of these is the worst, since some of them are extremely revolting.
Okay.
Let's see for ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
All those banquet scenes seemed like a great time for the Harry Potter actors who had oodles of beautiful food in front of them that they were actually able to eat. It was great the first day, but as the days went on, the cast wasn't too keen since they didn't actually replace the food and all of it started rotting.
Ew.
It was further exemplified by the heat of the lights used for filming, and it became so bad that the actors and crew could literally smell the stench wafting out of the set before even entering. Thankfully, they decided to switch to fake food after that very unfortunate event.
Nice.
That must be a mistake.
Plenty of people eat raw fish when it's in sushi, but it was a very different experience for Lawrence, who had to hold a real raw fish in her hands and chomp into it in the Hunger Games catching fire.
Okay.
We would think it was a prop or somehow faked, but the fish was as real as the disgusted faces she made off camera. Lawrence said that it tasted exactly the same way it smelled. We'll let you guess whether or not it was bad or good. Hint, it was bad.
What's wrong with her?
DiCaprio definitely earned his Oscar for The Revenant based solely on all the icky things he actually did. These animal carcasses he sleeps in? Yeah, those were real. The grossest thing he had to do, though, was definitely eating a raw bison liver. The props department did provide a fake one, but DiCaprio didn't think it looked convincing enough. He said all the real suffering he did on set helped his performance, which was incredible to be fair.
Nice.
We probably would have stuck with the props though.
The Revenant was about man's relationship to the natural world.
Sophie Turner went on quite a journey as Sansa in Game of Thrones. Like many of her male colleagues, she started using much less shampoo, so she looked disheveled when she escaped from King's Landing.
Gotcha.
Turner said that near the end of the 5th season, the production team asked her not to wash her hair. And this happened for a full 2 years until they finally gave her a wig instead. Her hair became so dirty that it was constantly greasy and itchy. And when they shot scenes with fake paper snow, well, that just created a huge mess on her head since the small pieces of paper got stuck in the grease in her hair.
I'm Sansa Stark of Winterfell.
One of Olsen's many kisses with Bettany became known as, wait for it, Snotgate. On a particularly cold day, there was an emotional kiss and someone's nose started to run quite a bit, resulting in a much sloppier and grosser kiss than anyone would hope for. Bettany claims it was Olsen's fault, but the WandaVision actress has firmly stated that it was Bettany's fault, explaining that he couldn't feel it because of all the makeup and prosthetics that he wore as Vision. Anne Hathaway looks pretty disheveled in this scene in Les Miserables. The actual fish carcasses that were surrounding her definitely did their job in setting the tone. Somehow she sang through the stench that wafted through the room due to the heat of the lights that were shining on them. She sang the nearly 5-minute song about 20 times on set, meaning by the end of it, the smell was probably unbearable.
I was trying not to think what I was doing.
Winslet was very keen and eager doing Titanic and wanted to be perfect. Considering how major the film was, it makes sense. However, this also resulted in taking bathroom breaks in water tanks on the set. Why would she make this choice? Well, taking a break would disturb the work since the bathroom breaks would end up being a half-hour long in order to deal with all the complex costumes. So she took one for the team. Let's hope no one used those tanks to drink from.
That was
How Castle Black looked super disgusting on screen, and it was just as bad in real life. The goal was to make the castle look as cold, grungy, and dirty as it could get. So they had the set decorators hang raw meat from the ceilings. Oh, and real pigs wandering around too. The production team was really happy with how it looked in the end, but we have a feeling the cast wasn't loving it quite so much.
That bit more of reality in the world they're in.
Clark had to eat a horse heart as Daenerys in Game of Thrones, and just watching it is super nauseating. While she didn't eat any real horse hearts, what she did have was pretty awful. She was told that the creation would taste like gummy bears, but Clark said it was more like congealed jam that tasted like bleach.
Ooh.
It was so gross, she actually was getting sick in buckets between takes. The poor actor wound up having to eat 28 of these disgusting creations. Probably not her favorite day on set.
What you saw was really what it was like, shooting it.
Just when we thought he couldn't get any scruffier, Pattinson went full tilt when he played a dirty bank robber in the film Good Time. He decided the best way to prep for the role was by renting a dirty, cheap basement apartment to live like his character. He stayed there for 2 months and didn't change his clothes to sleep in, his sheets, and he didn't open his curtains while he was there. His neighbors were super freaked out by the whole thing. We would be too.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
While the famous sensual peach scene in Call Me By Your Name is merely performed in the film, the truth is Chalamet had actually tried doing it on his own to see what it was like. It's pretty wild. This movie got pretty weird. In this scene, Efron is stung by a jellyfish and thinks the best way to fix it is with urine, and Nicole Kidman's character lends him a hand with it. This is honestly not too tricky of a stunt to pull off, but the team decided to go full method by having Kidman actually help Efron out. The two actors were ready to go for it, but before they actually shot the scene, the director Lee Daniels was questioning whether or not he wanted it to happen anymore and was ready to cut the scene completely. But Kidman stopped him and they went ahead. Why she wanted to do it for real isn't very clear, but it's definitely weird.
Look at me. It's not practical.
Sweets are great, but the amount and combinations that Will Ferrell eats in Elf is not. What's crazy is that he actually did eat all of this and more. Ferrell said he didn't sleep a lot while filming and was often totally wired because of the amount of sugar he was consuming. To make it all worse, he developed chronic headaches as well. If what we saw wasn't enough, many of the other weird things he had to eat, like the doctor's cotton balls, even more sugar.
Did you hear that?
Those were cotton candy.
Can you pass some maple syrup, please?
Halle Berry was preparing to play the role of an addict in Jungle Fever, but wasn't sure quite how to go about it, so she wound up not showering for the full 2 months of production. Logical? We're not too sure, but it's definitely gross. The actress admitted that it was super gross, and she did end up keeping a few parts of her body clean. We can imagine the crew was probably pretty thankful for that.
Oh, I like her.
We don't know if we should be impressed or totally grossed out. All these disgusting things actors did for roles shows their commitment to the craft for sure. We can't imagine having to do any of this stuff for a job. What experience grossed you out the most?
I'm not gonna lie, let me know down in the comments which one grossed y'all out the most, which one y'all would be willing or wouldn't be willing to do. I feel like you should be willing to do everything. If they paying you millions, come on, son. You're gonna be like, alright. Well, not anything, but like at least these things. Like, it's not that hard, you heard? Let me know down in the comments if y'all willing to do it or not. What y'all willing to do, how far y'all willing to do for, you know, whatever that paycheck is and whatever comes behind it. And, you know, it's your art. So, you know what I'm saying? That's what's important. It's your art. Other than that, please follow that, hit that subscribe button. Follow on my social media. Everything is up top. I just shot another video. Y'all go check it out. It's very crazy. About to check out the next one. I'm about to go shoot another one right now, you heard? I'm going to see y'all there, all right? Peace. Love. Dawn.